is Andrew Bukowski with Muscle Insider, and I'm here with Corey Swiergosz, our gym culture show promoter. How's it going?
Yeah, great for having me, man. I'm doing
Good.
really well. Appreciate it.
Yeah, no, happy to have you here. Now, show's coming up in just over a week and a half, I guess.
It is, yeah.
And getting excited?
Real excited, actually.
Yeah.
You know what? Super excited to have a show of this caliber here in British Columbia.
Yeah.
Obviously, you know, promoting events within British Columbia, there's a lot of unique challenges.
Oh, for sure.
And, you know, it's great to be able to bring accessible fitness to the lower mainland.
Yeah.
I think it's right now, it is needed across the board. And we're trying to develop something out that regardless if you are just getting into the fitness industry, this is an event for you. Or if you're somebody who's been in it a little while and you want to progress, through, you know, the career progression, you want to get more serious, you want to look for sponsors, you want to source out a more serious gym. Right now you might be at a Fit for Less, but you want to see some of the other gyms in the area, like a Total Fitness, you know, a West Coast Iron,
For sure.
You know, Fitness Unlimited. So we want to be able to provide a platform that regardless of where you are at in that process, you're able to come out, network with the community, be able to band together and grow. And I really think we don't have enough opportunities throughout the year to be able to come together in person. Even post-pandemic, there's less and less opportunities
For sure,
now.
I agree.
And so really it's about being a big networking opportunity, all derived around the culture of the gym industry. So.
I like that. So can you give us like a bit more of an idea of what we can expect when we're there? Because you're doing a 2-day event, right?
Correct, yeah. So it's April 5th and 6th at Cascades Casino in Langley. We've taken over the entire ballroom upstairs. We've got a lot going on, actually. Yeah. So as I said, accessible right now until April 3rd. We have 2-for-1 tickets. So it's $5 a ticket right now if you purchase to come to the event. And you're getting phenomenal value. We have a speaker series taking place on the Friday and the Saturday. We're going to be going over a wide range of topics, everything from cancer prevention to you know, digestive and gut health. We're going to be doing a panel fireside chat about the state of bodybuilding in Western Canada.
Nice.
We're also going to be doing a bikini, you know, prep seminar as part of it on stage as well. We're gonna have just a ton of great speakers both days through and through. As part of that, leading in the Vancouver Island Showdown, which is also coming up in April, we are gonna have a posing seminar. We've got 12 IFBB pros confirmed that are gonna be there.
I saw it. It seems like almost every day or every other day you're announcing like, and it's not just nobody's. These are big names in the industry,
for sure. You know what? I got to give a lot of credit to all the IFBB pros. You know what? They're seeing what we're doing. They're buying into it. And they're reaching out to me to want to be a part of it. So it's great to see, you know, the community band together and want to be involved, you know, with the mission that we're trying to push. So I think it's, you know, it's a great compliment to see it. And yeah, like you said, we're bringing out some big players. We're bringing in some influencers. John Dorsey, Goob U, the first time in Canada.
That's super cool.
He's going to be up here, first time. He's super excited. He's actually going to be speaking on stage as well. So so that he'll be the finisher on the Saturday. And so we're super excited to have him. I'm going to talk to him about, you know, the motivation of why he does what he does. Obviously, you know, right now, you know, timely in the world with some of the things going on, you know, that you need people to, you know, call it as it is. And so kind of, you know, get into, you know, how people get goobed, what not to do in the industry if you don't want to end up on his list and stuff like that. And then, yeah, we also just announced Taylor Lemont as well. So Canadian fitness pro, who just placed second at the Olympia, is going to be out here both days as well. Super excited about her. She's got 2 million followers on Instagram. Big personality for a little girl, and real excited to have her out. And then obviously, like we said, 12 plus IFBB pros are going to be taking part in the posing seminar as well. So those are 2 things that are taking place. We're also going to have Ali Sorab is going to be there. Anybody who attends who wants to get advice on how to pose their body for free. So you can contact Ali. He's offering 15-minute sessions. Anybody, I'm talking, this is a $5 offering into the show.
Holy cow,
Ali will give you a 15-minute session and teach you how to pose your physique, not only in front of his camera, but in front of your camera on social media, the poses that fit your physique the best.
Well, and I can speak because I've shot with Ali before, and he's phenomenal. He's so creative and really guides you how to do it. Because if there's a lot of people that are like me, when I first did a photo shoot, I started competing first, men's physique, And then I step in front of a camera and I'm just doing men's physique poses. Like, and Ali was one that was like, come on, like,
totally.
What are you doing?
Yeah.
So no, he's someone that knows what he's doing, super creative and one of the great photographers in our industry here.
100%. Yeah, so he's going to be there doing that. We're also going to have Strongman 101.
Oh,
so
cool.
if you want to get into Strongman, we're bringing some of the apparatuses to the actual venue itself. Yeah. No additional charge. You can come to the Strongman 101. It's going to start at 10:30. Simply come with your gym gear on. They're going to show you some of the basic lifts, teach you how to do it. And then at 1 o'clock, we're going to run a mini Strongman competition.
Oh, get out.
So everybody can come and watch that as well. So like I said, it just embodies what it is that we're trying to do. We're going to get you involved, the grassroots beginner level. Then you watch. We're gonna have the number 4 and number 6 ranked strongman in Canada at this event. Crazy. And so you'll be able to actually try it yourself, then watch the pros of the pros do what they do best. Yep. And that's what we're trying to do, is holistically bring it together, inspire and motivate and show people what it actually takes. Because I'm sure you see a lot of times people will, let's go to a show and do a front double bicep with Phil Heath, and my biceps as big as his because I cheated the camera. And it's like, no, it's not even close. Yeah. But like, if you could actually see, like, hey, this is where I'm at day one, and this is what the pros look like, it at least gives you a roadmap. Oh yeah. To follow. And I think that's what a lot of people, when they only see pictures online, they get a false sense of what the industry is about. They get a false sense of what these individuals are. And I think being able to meet these people, that you see online and people that you look up to in person gives you that inspiration and motivation to be able to, one, connect with them and realize they're actually regular people. A lot of them also have coaching businesses, posing businesses, even life coaching that can actually help you. And a lot of them help you for free because they want to see other people follow in the footsteps that they have as well. But being able to connect these people together to be able to go through that progression is incredibly important for us. And
I agree. And because I know, in my role, your role, we have access to a lot of these athletes that not everybody does.
Totally.
And I know, just like coming back from, we're what, 3 weeks out roughly from the Arnold's. Yeah. It's a great opportunity to meet these people, and like you said, they're super down to earth. They're very approachable. Yeah. They're everyday people that are just at an elite level of fitness. But bringing that here to our local community, I think that adds accessibility that a lot of people can't get to Arnold's or Olympia or those kind of events. So I think this is really big. And I know, you're a promoter that, a lot of people say they do stuff for the athletes. Yeah. And I do feel a lot of, especially out here in the West, a lot of our promoters have that 100%. True belief. Yeah. But there are a lot of people, I think, that say that and it's just words. Totally. I go back to when it was just opening from pandemic. And what was it that you were allowed to have in Victoria? 50 people total? In the venue. That's including your judges, your athletes, 100%. And spectators. Yeah. And I even asked you at the time, I was like, why are you doing this? You're not going to make any money. And you're like, no, I'll lose a lot of money. But and I remember you saying, when I asked, why would you do it? You're like, because people want to compete. Totally. So to me, that... I didn't
miss a year.
That's right. To me, that speaks volumes for someone that actually walks the walk of, I'm doing this for the athletes. And this is another event. Like you said, $5 tickets for this type of access to just an overall experience. That you're... Yeah, I don't think we've ever seen anything like this at that capacity.
And as you touched on, it's accessible to people. A lot of people can't afford to travel to the Olympia or travel to the Arnold to see these IFBB pros. And then the second part to it is that the environment that we're creating here, without being attached to a show at this moment, a show is also a high stress moment for the athletes, family, friends. There's judging involved. Yeah. This is an environment that you can come out where there is no competition. Right. So the pressure is off. You're going to see people much more in their natural element. And they're going to be much more willing to converse and talk. And, obviously we have a Pro-Am coming up in a couple weeks. Right. But, the pros are there to compete. That's part of their job. They're very, very serious ahead of time. You'll talk to them after, no problem. Yeah. But the pros that are coming out here aren't competing, and so they're going to be much more friendly, much more open, willing to give you that time to be able to converse.
Yeah.
And you know, like, but honestly, like, I know we talk a lot about competing because it's something that we truly love, but this is really an event for everybody.
Yeah,
not,
definitely.
you know, if you go to the gym, this is an event for you. It's not just if you want to get on stage. We hope you come and get inspired and one day want to get on stage. But if that's not the path for you, it's not. I mean, if you want to be a strong man or a strong woman, we're trying to introduce people to that realm as well, because there's a ton of different ways that you can be involved in this industry, bringing it together, whether you're in yoga, CrossFit, strongman, Olympic lifting, powerlifting, bodybuilding. Like, there's all the common goal of wanting to be better.
Yes.
You know, trying to get healthy, you know, and so bringing that to the attention of people and aspiring them to take it more serious, or, you know, move along their process is really what we're trying to do. And, you know, I hope one day that we're able to take this on the road. I want to take this outside of the Lower Mainland even.
Awesome. Yeah. So, well, I was going to ask, like, do you think this is going to be something that you want to, I mean, I don't want to say if you think it's successful, because already looking at it, I can't imagine it not being.
For sure.
So I was going to say, is this going to be an annual thing? But now you're saying you might even want to try to tour with it, right?
Yeah, you know what? Like, I've been reached out, you know, we have a ton of companies from Alberta that have expressed interest.
Cool.
When you come into Alberta. So I think that's probably going to be the next logical step, is going to be going to Alberta. And then even the East Coast. I've actually had someone reach out to me on the East Coast who wanted to partner on this type of event out there.
Okay.
So
very cool.
Could be, you know, definitely something that I do want to get on the road with. I think it's something that is needed, you know, not only in major markets, but also in secondary markets.
Oh yeah,
because
definitely.
Alberta, the East Coast, I mean, Quebec, there are a ton of great you know, markets and community for fitness and bodybuilding.
I agree.
That need this type of event to take place. You know, the business community has really come on board to support it, and we're seeing it across the board. And so, yeah, I think definitely something. And, you know, the name Influential Sports in itself, about influencing the industry. Yeah. You know, and if you look at my mission statement that I have, you know, up on my website, which is influentialsports.com, you know, it's about bringing innovation to the fitness industry, both, you know, technologically, but also in terms of the community. And as you said, doing things that other people aren't doing to provide those opportunities. And so
I think it's so important, because, like, you know, we were at the Lee Branch show this past weekend, and one of the things we wanted to do was start talking to a lot of the coaches. Sure. Because it's one of those things, like, without the organization, the Canadian Physique Alliance, we wouldn't be doing what we're doing, of course, in this capacity at least. So they give us a great opportunity. But then again, you wouldn't have it without great coaches. And we have coaches from all those markets, like you said. You know, we're close to Vancouver, there's Kelowna. But we met a bunch of people that were coming from Alberta, like DIY Body and some other coaches there. But even if you're looking at Montreal, you know, Toronto's huge, obviously, but there's those outside markets that these coaches are phenomenal, and they produce great athletes. And that's where a lot of our pros are coming from, is these smaller markets too.
You know, I think, you know, you take it one step further. I think you need to have the supplement stores, the supplement manufacturers. You need to have the gyms, you need to have the trainers, and you need to have the show promoters. You have all 5 of those aspects working together to satisfy the need of the customer, the consumer, that athlete. And so the way that this industry grows is when all 5 of those, you know, those 5 entities work together to build the industry long term. Without one of them, it's going to suffer.
You know, and I can't agree more, because we actually had that conversation quite a few times at the show this weekend with coaches, with Dean and Lee, the promoters of the show. Is if there's something that we can do as a media source to help promote that community. Totally. Because there doesn't need to be an environment where it's like us against them kind of idea. Like, the more we all work together, the more people that are going to be wanting to compete, the more exposure to fitness overall there is, and then everybody has more successful businesses, successful careers in the industry. So I think it's a testament that that's what you're trying to bring as well. And I think that's what resonates with me and our brand, is that we really want it to be a community. That everybody working together, and then it helps elevate everyone.
Well, I'm going to throw it back on you, actually. Have you had the opportunity to explain why you wanted to be the face of Muscle Insider?
Oh man, now you're turning it on this. I don't know. I've been a huge fan of Muscle Insider for years. I shouldn't say this, but I still remember back, like, when I first started competing, probably it was my first or second show, I made it in the top 100 shredded.
Okay. Nice.
So there's me with my six pack. Not a lot of muscle at the time, but I was shredded. So that made it. But you know, I've known Scott Welch and Janet and Dom for years, and it just seemed that stars were aligning at the right time, that we're, you know, seeing there was an opportunity, and they were looking at making a change as well. So it's been an exciting time, like very busy, of course, but
for sure.
I think we can add some freshness to the media source without changing it. Like, we know Muscle Insider has been the core for so long, and we want to keep that the same brand always. But just, you know, bring some freshness and new life to it, and maybe some new ideas. But
so I know you've been around it for a long time. Let's talk about how the media industry has evolved, because obviously since you got into it, it's changed substantially.
For sure, you know, and you know, I don't want to get too much into, because I don't know, like, because I worked with Muscle Insider with Scott and Janet and Dom for about 4 years. It was during pandemic that I left, just because things were slowing down. And when I know things, you know, the team wasn't as full as it used to be. I hated the idea, like, you know, we saw in muscular development, just shut the doors. And I talked to Ron Harris, and as much as they kind of knew, like, things weren't going well, it was a bit of a surprise for everybody when it actually shut down, you know. And there's been other media sources, magazines that stopped. And not saying that was where Muscle Insider was going, but, you know, I would have hated to think that it could have been another media source. So we had the ability and the resources that were available, and we met with Scott, and it was, like I said, kind of good timing. And I think it's just, media is, like you said, evolving. You know, it's one of those things that, you know, print magazines, we recognized years ago. Like 2019 was, I was still with the company at the time. It was our last print issue, which was our 10-year anniversary issue at the time. Media now is just so instant. So you can't, it's not like the old days back in the 90s or 80s when you could go to a show in Olympia, and because most people weren't there, they would wait 2-3 months till the magazine came out and they could see what the results were, you know, where now everything's just instant. And you know, so it's a matter of making sure that you have your you know, finger on the pulse, I guess. And you're passionate about it, like, which that's what we have passion. Like, we're coaches, but we also, you know, want to make sure that we can help, like you said, elevate the industry. Fitness all around, even just not bodybuilding, but, you know, there's so many elements to it.
So how can people watching this, how can they help support Muscle Insider so it has a thriving future?
You're flipping this around, aren't you?
I am, absolutely.
You know, we're working closely with the CPA, our Canadian Physique Alliance. We want to get out to cover as many of the shows as possible. As much, you know, we can't obviously be at every show because there's a lot of them. But our goal is to get to as many as we can. We're gonna keep doing interviews on our YouTube channel. Our social media, we've got a great social media team behind us now that keeps a lot of content coming out on the regular. We're really proud of what, you know, Jessica's our social media manager, what she's been doing. And then just, you know, we've still got our content writer, Roger Lockridge, who he's phenomenal. So he puts out a lot of great material, but we're also in the works with a few other people that we're just in talks with to hopefully bring on more people that are going to provide content for us. So our message coming out on a regular basis, be it shows, just, you know, Muscle Insider is the
signs of bodybuilding, isn't it?
Bodybuilding, like losing fat, building strength, and building muscle, right? And we want to keep that content coming on a regular basis, but you know, making sure that it's relevant to what people are looking for.
Do you have your YouTube drop down yet?
What do you mean?
Or do you want me to do it for you?
Sure.
All right. I'm Andrew Bukowski. Hit the subscribe button on YouTube. Hit the notification bell so that you get all of the new content that we drop. Leave a comment in the comments section below if you have any questions or want us to answer any of those questions in future episodes. We appreciate you all.
I like it. Okay, I'll work on it.
You want to try right now?
No, I'll practice it on my own. So, I'm getting more comfortable in the camera. Obviously, it's going to take a little bit of time, but I've done it quite a bit. So I think each time gets a little bit better. Yeah. So, but I haven't even thought of the drop there for it. So I'll work on that one.
There we go, man.
I appreciate it.
Awesome.
But no, we're excited to be there at the show and get lots of content. Hopefully interview a lot of these people that are attending. Yeah. And look forward to seeing it just grow and become a phenomenon.
Yeah. Appreciate you having me. Obviously here doing this. Yeah, awesome. Really appreciate it. And we'll see you at the show.
Definitely. Thanks so much.